Well, to the surprise of no one, I imagine the Great Purge. The Great Purge is upon us again, but at least I have good hair. The big social media purges that everyone expected are, it's just everything's happening according to what you would anticipate, right? Everything is going according to plan. It's just that the plan that you people trusted was the cute stuff, which I always said was poison from day one. Always said it was poison. And so the plans, the great Democrat plans, are all coming to fruition. All this goofy stuff too. All this goofy stuff, whatever. Now people are going, oh, they're coming for you. Oh, really? You're so smart. You mean I might get banned from the internet? Never thought of that, right? And that's kind of the problem with a lot of people who are just sort of like low IQ and dumb. They tell me things that are just like, oh, really? I had no idea. I had no idea that every day this could happen. Oh, really? You're so smart. But it's all coming to fruition, and as I've been saying, it's going to get worse, right? What have I told you, people? I've told you it's going to get worse because even though history doesn't repeat itself, human nature doesn't change. That's what you have to understand. History doesn't repeat, but human nature never changes. And human nature is fundamentally authoritarian. Western functioning democracy is, and I say this not to say that that's bad, it's actually good, it's unnatural, right? Western democracy is not against political violence, right? That's why I'm so against political violence. That's why I'm so against the negativity and toxicity that is going on, because a Western democracy where you have civil liberties is not the normal state of affairs. It's the exception to history, right? And that's why you want to fight to preserve civil liberties. And so right now we have purges. They're going to get worse. They're going to be more severe. They're going to catch up more people. Technofog got caught up in it, and he's the most clean-cut account you can imagine. Just post public negativity, but you call people like you. I mean, but that's just a statement of fact. That would be say my eyes are a little red. Yeah, I have redness under my eyes because I have an autoimmune condition. So sometimes my eyes flare up a little bit. My eyes swell shut. That's not an insult. It's just that my eyes swell shut due to an autoimmune condition. And when I say you're low IQ, it's just you're just low IQ. You're not very smart. You don't really read much. You don't think about the world. You believe in things like that. That's not me being toxic. That's telling you the true state of affairs. You followed like Lynn Wood stuff about threatening to kill Mike Pence. You're stupid. One person. If you thought that Mike Pence was going to be able to reverse an election, you're just a dumb person. And maybe that can be fixed. You can try. You should try. So now, though, like the Democrats have power, they have total control, and they're using their power already. They're trying to do a Trump, which would be a catastrophe for the country. Just let the fat ass serve out his remaining 13 days. The votes, by the way, this is exclusive to me. The votes are there to send GOP to convict. I don't know if the timeline, the timeline would be a problem, and that's why Trump's just going to have to sit on his hands, because the GOP doesn't want to have to vote to convict, but they would. The votes are there. So the GOP doesn't want to vote to convict because what a mess. What a mess. And so the GOP won't vote to convict. And then, but they would vote to convict, they don't want to have to make that vote. So they're trying to drag it out. But the votes are there. Anybody telling you otherwise, it just doesn't have any reputable sources or insight in any of this. So right now it's the Dems table. We're in the Democrats' world. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the presidency. It's a full-on cultural revolution. But the flip side is now they actually have to do something, right? Now, that's the whole idea that people who panic, like I don't panic. Why did I panic? Well, the Democrats have the power now. They have to go. They have to actually solve problems now, right? They have to, they have to solve problems now. It's on them. They have their own base they have to keep track of. They have their own issues. We'll see. And we'll see. We'll see. I wish them well with all my heart. That's not me. Oh, you're a traitor. It's just, if you call people traitors, you should just unfollow me. I think there are that when people say, I know that that's not a credible person that I want following me. And if you go around calling people a traitor, I would just rather you not follow me because you're a mentally broken person. Right? Because traitor is just your catch-all term for not saying what you agree with. It's just a low IQ way of doing it to you. And I'm too low IQ and I don't have enough of a prefrontal cortex developed to articulate my to call anybody a traitor. Like those people who chased down Lindsey Graham today, I don't want anything to do with that. I probably think of Linwood and a mishmash of them. The people who chased down Lindsey Graham and were stalking him at the airport, I just don't want anything to do with that. If you think that's okay, if you're a part of that, thank you. That's my color. I should wear it more. I know. I'm wear green. I like to bring my blue eyes, but my eyes are all bloodshot from the autoimmune thing I have. So my mind said, if you really are about like following around Lindsey Graham, who Trump endorsed, because you never follow on Trump. Somebody put it well, which is that the idea is that Trump is your messiah, and rather than admit that your messiah betrayed you, you're turning on all those who you viewed as not being loyal to Trump. Trump endorsed, true or false, correct me if I'm wrong, Trump endorsed Lindsey Graham, Trump endorsed Ben Sasse, Trump endorsed Mitt Romney, Trump endorsed all these people. You're like, oh, but Trump endorsed him, the most powerful man in the world. But because he's become your messiah, you want to think everyone is Judas and not think that maybe Trump turned on you. Maybe Trump is the Judas, right? Maybe Trump sold you all out, made hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a fight voter fraud thing, but they never actually book the gains. Trump's going to be diving in Scrooge McDuck piles of gold and money, right? So maybe that's it. But if you're in a cult, you're like, he didn't sell you out. He sold you out. He endorsed every person you're mad at. Every person you're mad at was endorsed by Trump. Romney, Sasse, Graham, every person you're mad at, Trump endorsed. Get a fucking clue. Admit that you fucked up. Admit that Trump is unworthy of you. I said this in 2017. People got so mad at me, and I always said, because if you've actually paid attention, you don't read the media, you know that I'm not pro-Trump. If you've been following me for years, and people here can tell you this, and people said, why aren't you pro-Trump? Well, I was in 2016, and then I saw how Trump behaved himself, and then I said that I was too good for Trump, too good to follow him. I deserved more than Trump. I deserved better than Trump. And that would be my message to these people going to prison. I get the stream's choppy. I don't care, guys. You're not helping the conversation. I, I I just think that you deserve so much better than Trump. You know, you all it is. All right, friends. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.